What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Philly with John Marks on PHLY. We're live on a Monday morning. Monday. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody had a nice Passover, nice Easter, as we had some Phillies baseball over the weekend. Big show today. A lot going on. Action-packed show. Start off with the Phillies. 10 minutes from now, we're going to address this A.J. Brown, Patriots, Eagles BS rumor. So don't go anywhere. The middle of Block A, we will take care of that. I can't wait. I was going to, you know what, let's just do it because Block C, we're going to do some draft stuff. I'm like, no, I can't wait. So that's coming up in about 10 minutes from now. The debut of the Philly Feud. Today, in our debut episode, Tyler Zulli takes on the director of content for PHLY, Jamie Lynch, in the Philly Feud. We'll explain everything coming up, but that's coming up in Block B about 25 minutes from now. Let's start off with the Phillies. I hate when the Phillies win 2 of 3, and I feel cheated or I'm somewhat disappointed because they lose Game 3 of the series. Seems to happen all the time. Of course, we'll take 2 of 3. Of course, they were going to win 2 of 3, or they had to win 2 of 3 against the Marlins. But yesterday, when you have Luzardo pitching as well as he did, when you have a lead going into the 8th inning and you serve up a home run that actually had the Phillies behind in the game, they come back and tie it, then they lose in extra innings. It's disappointment. You try to look at the bigger picture, which we'll do, but still, it sucks because I tasted this. I had the taste of the sweep in my mouth. I was playing blackjack. And I'm like, oh, man, I got 2 picture cards. I got a king and a queen. Oh, the dealer's showing a 5. All right, I got $25 down. That'll win me $50. I have $75. Oh, man, I'm up $200 now. This is awesome. This is great. And then the dealer pulls a 6 and then a picture card. Boom. Has a 21 and beats you. That's what happened yesterday. Because Kirking puts the two runners on, gives up 2 hits to start the 8th inning, and then gets 2 outs. So it's like, oh, he's wiggling his way out of it and then just leaves a hanger. If you leave a hanger, they're going to bang her. I heard the Marlins broadcaster actually said that yesterday after they hit that home run. Where were you for the Javier Sinoja game? Where were you? Well, I was watching. Very disappointed. But he hits a home run. He gets the hit in extras. The Marlins win. Still, like a productive series. Luzardo looked great again yesterday, had 7 strikeouts. Really, at each start that he makes, you have the same reaction, which was like, it's a really, really good acquisition by Dave Dombrowski. Gave up some prospects, but some lower level prospects. And Luzardo is legit. Between Chris Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, Zach Wheeler had 13 strikeouts on Saturday. More about that in a second. You have 3 top rotational pieces. And then Aaron Nola and the Mets. Aaron Nola starts tonight for the Phillies and the Mets. More on the Mets series coming up in a second. But overall, I'm going to try to just kind of blink twice and say, okay, yesterday sucked, but I'm not going to focus my entire attention on yesterday's frustrating loss. Some takeaways from the weekend and really the last stretch here. I love Stott leading off the game. Love Stott leading off. Yesterday had a bunt single. Imagine that. Playing small ball. Bunts up the third baseline. Very good bunt. Steals second base. And he's hit safely now in 7 straight games. And I love the dynamic of Stott leading off. And then Trey Turner batting second. As much as the Phillies, and maybe Turner wants to be the leadoff hitter, as much as the Phillies have tried to force that square peg in the round hole, he shouldn't be the leadoff hitter. He's just not very good at it. He looks much better as the 2-hole hitter. So Stott, Turner, Harper, Schwarber I really like that top 4. And then Castellanos can get in there. Bohm, who also now has hit in 7 straight games. So there's less and less Bohm. You suck. Trade you. You're going to bat 100 on the season. That's less of that going on right now. So Bohm had a nice hit yesterday. He was hitting the ball hard earlier in the season, but he continues to do that. So Stott looked really good. I mean, geez, Zach Wheeler was dealing 13 strikeouts. It was good for him to get a start because he had 2 less than Zach Wheeler-esque starts before that. And it's going to happen. He still wasn't terrible in those 2 starts. But still, it was good to see him bounce back to where you don't have concerns like, hey, is he hurt? Where's the velocity? The velocity come back down, right? So he was really sharp, got a lot of swings and misses, and working at the Zach Wheeler pace where when he's moving and he's grooving and he's rolling, he is just good. And that was before they brought in Jordan Romano. Tyler Zulli, I don't know. I ended up like I had Saturday afternoons. I got a ton of stuff going on. I'm listening on the radio. I'm watching some on TV. I didn't actually get home to sit down and say, okay, now I'm gonna watch. Now I'm like watching the game with my kids till the 8th inning. So the meat and potatoes that I got from the Phillies game on Saturday was Jordan Romano coming in and just serving it up, man. So I guess we have to worry. We do now have to worry about Romano. Not we look like Romano fixed everything that was wrong with him. He had 3 good appearances in a row, and then they almost lost the game. I don't know what the hell. Was Rob Thompson awake in the 9th inning? Once Alvarado gets up, you don't have to just get him in the game. I don't need it to be a 1-run game, and now a walk and a home run you're behind. But God, Jordan Romano looked terrible. Why? I'm assuming you were watching live because I saw you tweeting it out. Thompson left him in at least 1 batter too long.
I think what he was trying to do was desperately trying to not have to use Jose Alvarado in that game because the Phillies bullpen got taxed a lot this weekend. They were asked to throw a lot of pitches. Now that's kind of on their own fruition because of the fact that Jordan Romano threw a bunch of pitches, but also Taijuan Walker only was able to go 4 innings because of an injury. The Phillies had to go to Strahm early. They went to Hernandez. They went to Joe Ross I think Joe Ross ended up pitching 2 innings in that game. So their bullpen was taxed a little bit on Saturday. And I think that he was trying desperately not to use Jose Alvarado in the game if he didn't have to. So that to me is why he left Romano in as long as he did. And the funny thing is, Romano, if I just told you his velocity was up to 99 at one point, and he threw a ton of strikes. If that's all the information I gave you from the start or from the appearance, you'd feel like it was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But he was throwing the strikes that he was throwing were middle. They were cookie cutter sliders. They were hanging sliders, and they were fast. And it's great you're throwing 98, 99, which is awesome, but you don't have a whole lot of movement on your fastball, and you're not generating any swings and misses. He generated 11 swings on his 22 pitches. He got 1 whiff. So he wasn't missing bats, and he was throwing pitches pretty center cut, cookie type pitches. So it was just a really bad performance from him. And the unfortunate part is that's going to be the takeaway from the series is that Romano was bad, and then Kerkering gives up the 3-run home run, and they lose the game yesterday. When they won 2 out of 3, the starting pitching was excellent, and they pretty much were able to get away with everything that they needed. They did everything that they needed to get away with 2 out of 3, other than the bullpen.
Yeah. And that's what's disappointing is that this is what we spent the last however many minutes talking about, which is the negative. And you're right. And I said this on Friday with Chris Sanchez. This team's going to win 90 games just on their starting pitching. I mean, flat out. Luzardo was excellent again. I love watching him.
You think about the last 4 starts that the Phillies the starting pitching has made. Christopher Sanchez, 12 strikeouts, 7 innings pitched against the Giants. The next night, Zach Wheeler one-ups him, 13 strikeouts. Taijuan Walker gave you 4 good innings before he, had to leave the game because of the shoulder problem. And then yesterday, Jesus Luzardo gave you seven strong innings of 2 runs, 1 earned, 7 strikeouts. This is the team we expected, right? This starting rotation is just going to flat out be able to keep you in every single game for the most part. you get a bad start from Nola, you get a bad start here and there, or whatever. Walker gives up 6 against the Giants his last time out. But this starting rotation is built to keep you in pretty much every game. And they did over the last 4, right? I mean, even Walker, who only went 4, he pitched well. I mean, he gave up a little bit of hard contact here and there, but he only gave up the 1 run. He pitched okay over the 4 innings.
He was fine.
I think that this is exactly what you expected from a team that is built to beat you with their starting pitching, is that they're going to keep you in as many games as they possibly can. For sure.
Taijuan Walker leaves after 4 innings, did not give up a run. He had shoulder stiffness. They said he's fine. He should make his next start. The real question is what will happen when Ranger Suarez is back? And do they just put him in the rotation and they don't worry about it? Do they start it off and say, hey, we're going to piggyback the 2? We'll see. My bet would be that they put Ranger Suarez back in the rotation because Rob Thompson normally goes with his guys. But this is also a decision that's probably made over his head or is made in collaboration. And the collaboration is Dave Dombrowski's probably telling Rob Thompson what he thinks they should do. We'll see. I would bet that Ranger Suarez is back in the rotation, although that Taijuan Walker in the bullpen to me is worthless.
I wish Dave Dombrowski had a time machine to go tell past Dave Dombrowski to go get another bullpen arm, but you're right. I mean, their money's going to come into this in some capacity.
Always does.
Yeah, I mean, Taijuan Walker's making, $17-18 million this year. Like, it's going to come into it. There's going to be a conversation at least. I think the reality is Ranger Suarez should just slot back into the rotation, but I think money's going to play into the conversation, especially if Walker continues to give you solid enough appearances.
Yeah, he's been good.
I mean, John, if you take away the 6-run second against the Giants, he's given up 1 run in 18 2/3 innings.
He's been...
Or, excuse me, 2 runs in 18 2/3 innings.
I mean, geez, isn't it about expectations? We were expecting...
Nothing.
0. We were expecting to hate him again, and he's actually pitched pretty well.
Sub 1 whip.
Yeah.
Throwing
strikes.
Handful of strikeouts started, throwing strikes, getting ahead in a lot of counts. He's not going to strike out 10 guys a night. He doesn't have power stuff. But if he keeps the ball on the ground, avoids hard-hit contact for the most part, and is able to kind of dance out of the danger like he has for the most part, I can't ask for any more.
What else do we have here from the weekend? By the way, this portion of the program brought to you by GLAT Hair Restoration, GLAT HAIR MM.com, 610-980-4000. Brandon Marshall in the IL, hamstring injury. Cal Stevenson comes up. He had an infield hit yesterday, called himself safe as he went past the base. Always love that when the base runner's calling himself safe while running through first base. It's like, all right, let the umpire say that you're safe. You don't get to make the call, Cal. But anyway, he was able to actually get on base and tie the game up, lost in an extra innings. What else do I have from the game? Well, let's just do this because I want to get into this A.J. Brown stuff. Mets and the Phillies coming up tonight. Aaron Nola on the mound for the Phils. Since I am considered negative on Nola, I will say that I don't feel great about this game or this series. We'll kind of react rather than preview because we got a lot going on today. I think we'll just react tomorrow with the Mets series. But Aaron Nola, with Nola, when the expectations are lowest, when he seems to perform at his highest. At least that's been the experience with me. So when I'm like, oh, I have no confidence in Aaron Nola coming out tonight in New York and pitching well, this is the night that he goes 7 innings and gives up 2 earned, and the Phillies win the game. So I'm hoping that's the case. But it's going to be this is a good early season series against your division rival that's playing on par with you. I would say the Phillies and the Mets are playing similarly.
Yeah, I mean,
so far this year.
Now you're looking at a third series because this is the 8th series of the year, I think, 7th or 8th. You're looking at a third series against a team that has played really well to start the year. The Mets have played some good baseball to start the year. The Giants have played really good baseball to start the year. And the Dodgers are the Dodgers, right? And you went out and took 2 out of 3 from them. You split with the Giants. So you're 4-3 against the 2 early playoff caliber teams that you faced. Now you get the Mets, right? So can you take 2 out of 3 in that and extend that to 6-4? You'd feel pretty good about that, right? If you walked out of those 10 games and looked at those 3 teams' record and said you were 6-4, you'd feel pretty good about it.
Mets 15-7. They're 9-1 at home, so it's up at Citi Field. So they play well at home. They still have that that's something about them. They still have that. They're a tough team. They're resilient. They're tight. So 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 4 straight. 15-7 on the season. So it will be it's going to be a fun series. I know my daughter tomorrow, because they're off school today. Tomorrow when she goes in, that's why I need a Phillies win tonight, because my daughter's teacher is a Mets fan. She's from New York. And back when they were playing in the playoffs, she put a Mets hat on my 7-year-old and took a picture and sent it to us. And I'm like, no. Unacceptable. So I would love to get a Phillies win tonight and send her in full Phillies gear tomorrow. Chris Sanchez going in game 2 of the series, which makes you feel good. And Zach Wheeler, David Peterson, game 3. So it's a 3. Yeah, and then they have off on
3-game series. Then they go to Chicago for another team who's playing good baseball.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be a good week of baseball here. Phillies, looking forward to seeing the Phillies, what they have against two really good teams in the NL. All right, so Phils and Mets, can't wait for this one. Aaron Nola on the mound for your fighting Phils. All right, can you put up the Markel Futz comment right there? He says, please don't play in the A.J. Brown stuff. Why feed into the narrative? We're not feeding. You don't even know what I'm going to say about it. So I'm not feeding into any narrative. But the fact that this is, and it's draft week, and I think after we do the Philly feud, that's coming up in like 10 minutes. But, it's draft week, and I think tomorrow we'll have reaction to Phil's Mets, and then we really am like, all right, we got draft. It's not one of these years where there's a ton to talk about with the Eagles in the draft because they're picking 32. And do they trade out? Do they trade up? Do they stand pat? I don't think anybody really knows, because this is one of these things where it's really have to, you gotta see how everything plays out. If there's a player they like, if they could trade up, they're going to take them. If there's players that they like, they're going to trade out. And we'll talk about all that stuff. But WEEI in Boston, and I was reading Jimmy Kimsky writing about it because he had said they're the WIP of Boston. They're not the WIP of Boston. They're more like the Fanatic of Boston. And I'm not saying that to rip the Fanatic at all. It's just that the other sports station in Boston does the highest ratings of any sports radio in the city or in the country, excuse me. Like they're the highest rated best sports radio station in the country, the other station. Not this one, WEEI. WEEI has been around the longest. The programming's not all that great. So their afternoon show, they bring on this guy Fitzy, who is the third mic on the show. I don't know why he's like calling in. So I don't know what the dynamic is there or whatever. But former Patriot Ted Johnson's on the show. Guy named Andy Hart, who's fine. So this is how the conversation went. There's been this entire thing up there of, A.J. Brown, why would he want to play for the Eagles? Mike Vrabel. They love each other. A.J. Brown wants to be a Patriot. And it's taken on a life of its own. Forget about the hard details on why this will never happen. But this is Friday afternoon. Here's this guy Fitzy calls in to the afternoon show. Here's how it sounded.
Earlier today, a little birdie with some really good intelligence, a well-sourced phone call, came to me to offer this possible scenario. If somebody that we wanted the Patriots to select very badly, Abdul Carter, were to fall to 4th, and I know this scenario is slightly unlikely, if he were to fall at 4th overall, how would you feel about a certain team that recently won the Super Bowl calling up your New England Patriots in desperation and want of Abdul Carter and offering a certain wide receiver who has admitted that he loves New England and would love to play for the Patriots, and possibly more selections in a blockbuster draft day trade? That's right. I got a call earlier today saying that the Philadelphia Eagles really, really, really want Abdul Carter, and that they would consider, or rather are planning, to call your New England Patriots on draft day, if Carter falls to 4, to see if Mike Vrabel would like a reunion with A.J. Brown.
Oh, man. So I wasn't convinced until he said really, really, really. So if you go 3 reallys, then you totally changed my mind. 2 reallys, it wouldn't have. So Like,
is that like when somebody texts you, hey, it depends on how many Y's they put at the end of it, if they like you or really like you? Is that what we're doing here?
So if you text, and I haven't been single for many years, if you text the girl and she replies back with 3 Y's on the hey, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, like, I don't even know where to start with this. Let's start with the Patriots for a second. It would be like literally they have so little talent on this team. They are so not ready to even come close to winning. To trade for a wide receiver that's making $30+ million a year and to give up a top draft pick. So like if it was presented like this, like Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter are off the board and that's who the Patriots really want, they would consider moving that pick. And the Eagles are interested in Abdul Carter. Do I think the Eagles and Howie Roseman want Abdul Carter? Abso-freaking-lutely. He could be a generational pass rusher. I'm interested in Abdul Carter. They should be, right? Why the hell would the Patriots trade the 4th pick if Abdul Carter's sitting there on the board? He's a defensive end that could be Myles Garrett for crying out loud. So why would the Patriots do that? All right, so let's say the Patriots would do it, which I find, I'm going to say it 3 times, very, very, very hard to believe that they would do that. Then you have to say, would the Eagles do it? And this is how he presented it. He said, the Eagles are planning, if he's there at 4, to call the Patriots. Wouldn't those conversations already have happened? You dip bleep. These don't, like, Howie Roseman just doesn't say, he's there, let's try to make a trade. No, you have those conversations now. You're already saying to Elliott Wolf, who's the GM up in New England, hey, we know you have some interest in A.J. Brown. If Abdul Carter's there at 4, would you do it, right? Like, I'm not telling you that it's not a fun barroom conversation to say, hey, Tyler, would you trade A.J. Brown for Abdul Carter? Abdul Carter's there at 4. Would you trade A.J. Brown for the 4th overall pick? That's a WIP barroom conversation, which if I was doing sports radio, guess what I would have been talking about last week or I'd be talking about today? I'd probably be talking about that. You know why? I have 4 hours that I have to fill, and I can't talk about the Phillies for 4 hours. I have 4 hours of radio I have to fill, and it would be a fun conversation. I would probably enjoy it. As far as it being realistic, it's not realistic for so many different reasons. But I'll just end it with this. Why would you want to mess with a team that just not only won a Super Bowl, but smoked the Chiefs, thus leaving a glaring hole on your roster? You have a number 1 wide receiver that is in his prime that you'd be trading for, while it's a 4th overall pick and a really, really good-looking prospect, you're in a championship window to win right now. Why would you mess with that? I know the Chiefs got rid of Tyreek Hill, and the Chiefs still won another Super Bowl, but it's just, there's so many different reasons why this isn't going to happen, and I've already spent as much time or too much time on it than I should have. But this guy's just such an idiot up there in New England and just presented it so poorly to where it's like mention the name. Come out and say, listen, I spoke to somebody today, and there's a possibility that A.J. Brown could get moved to the Eagles if Abdul Carter is there at number 4. Now, I'm not telling you it's absolutely happening, but the Eagles love Abdul Carter, and we know that the Patriots have interest in A.J. Brown. Is it possible that something like this could happen? I spoke to somebody today that believes that it could happen. Like something like that. Now, he's cryptic, and you don't even know what the hell he's talking about. He meanders around for so long to get to it.
So on top of all of that, on top of the fact that I think it would be a detriment to the Eagles team, and on top of the fact that the Patriots are still way too many players away to go and acquire a top-flight receiver because thinking that's going to be the pushover. They won 4 games last year. On top of all of that, A.J. Brown this season, especially in a pre-June 1st move, which would be the move to acquire that selection, carries an $89.8 million dead cap hit. These numbers are free to look at. Like, you can go on Spotrac.com and look at the numbers. They are free and available to you to look at these numbers. You cannot tell me, as an insider or whatever this guy is, that he didn't for a second look at the fact that he carries a near $90 million dead cap hit. Howie Roseman would be, he would have a heart attack before if he tried to move a $90 million dead cap hit. That would never, ever happen. So here's the thing. There probably is validity to say the Eagles are interested in Abdul Carter, as they should be. He's probably the best defensive player in this draft. There's also validity to say it would cost you an arm and a leg to move from 32 to 4. But you can't just, bury facts to tell a good story in this particular instance. And they're burying the fact that the Eagles would take on a nearly $90 million dead cap hit to move A.J. Brown. It will never happen.
Yeah. I saw the same thing you did with the $90 million dead cap hit. I actually saw something, and it's like, whose source are you using? Are you using this guy's source? I saw one that said it's $36 million if you're able to do it post-June 1st. Problem is, it's not post-June 1st.
Well, that's the thing. It's like 30. It is 30-something if you do it post-June 1st. You're correct in that regard. But if you're making this move, you're going to acquire the pick, right? You're not doing it. This isn't an NBA trade where they say, we're going to draft Abdul Carter and then we'll trade him to you on draft day or post-June 1. First of all, why would the Patriots help the Eagles out? Because it would save the Eagles almost, 50, 59, 60, almost $60 million. So they're not going to help the Eagles out. And second of all, those types of trades don't happen the way they do in the NBA on draft. And even if it was on draft night where they they selected the player and then traded him, it's still the $89 million. No. It doesn't make any sense.
And this guy's not an insider, by the way. He's just some...
Sure, but all right, so let me rephrase it. He presented himself like an insider. The way I spoke to some highly sourced people,
a little birdie. Anybody that starts off with a little birdie told me, don't believe him. Coming up. Oh, man. The debut. Telling you, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a radio host, but I wanted to be the man that replaced Bob Barker on The Price is Right. Well, I became a radio host. I did not fulfill my dream of being a game show host until today. The Philly feud with John Marks. Jamie Lynch takes on Tyler Zulli. We'll explain everything. We'll explain the game. It's going to be fun. That's coming up next. Philly. John Marks. The hell are you doing? Don't go anywhere, man. We're back. We're back in 2-2. And if you're back in 2-2, that's a reference to another game show, which I loved. All right. What's up, everybody? So listen. Let's talk about Ace. Ace Hardware Home Services, the power of the Ace brand, striving to be the best, most trusted provider of home preservation services. They offer a wide range of residential maintenance, installation, home repair services, including plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical. Free estimates on equipment installation and replacement with trusted advisors and options that are best suited for your home and budget. Emergency services are available when you need them the most. And it's service you can trust and satisfaction guaranteed. They're going to make it right no matter what. So check it out. This time of year, you're just starting to put on the air conditioner, the AC, right? Have you had your HVAC serviced? Ace Hardware Home Services. If you turn on your air conditioning unit, it doesn't work. What do? You're like, uh-oh, why isn't this working? Ace Hardware Home Services. Sunday afternoon, Saturday morning, you wake up. Something's not going on. You have your toilet's overflowing. It's not flushing. You're like, I can't wait till Monday. Ace Hardware Home Services, emergency services. This is people you can trust, service you can trust. Satisfaction is guaranteed. The website, Ace Hardware Home Services, to get started on your next project today. Ace Hardware Homeservices.com. If you're pathetic like me, they can take care of you. Ace Hardware Home Services.com. All right, we have the BetParx Parlay of the day coming up here at the beginning of Block C. But right now, let's talk about BetParx. BetParx Sportsbook, great place to watch all the games. You get up there, boom, get your bet in, get your ticket. Also, the online casino app. BetParx Sportsbook and online casino app has you covered. Philadelphia baseball, bang! What's going on tonight? You can bet them tonight against the bad guys up in New York. But also, how about live table games, live dealers, blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, and hot online slots like Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, and Cleopatra. It's the only app I would ever use it 3 times. It means I'm serious about it. Ever use and recommend to bet on sports and to play all my favorite casino games in the palm of my hand. And new users right now get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparx.com, download the app right now. Enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21. And in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx, you love to play, you play to win, you bet BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Ooh, ah. All right, we are back. So we're gonna make this a feature on the show. Maybe not weekly, although I believe we're gonna play it twice this week. But it's the Philly feud. Today, Jamie Lynch and Tyler Zulli square off, and here's the debut. Go ahead. Welcome to the Philly feud with John Marks, and we've got a good one for you here today. Two members of the PHLY family competing for cash and prizes, so let's meet them. From the PHLY Philly show and producer of Philly with John Marks, Tyler joins us today. Jamie, hello.
Oh, I love Price is Right, John. Like sick days, Price is Right, hokey, give me Plinko, give me all the stupid putting games, give me a wheel.
Bowl of soup.
Oh, yeah, give me all of that stuff.
Yep.
Mom, I'm not feeling well. Got to stay home.
Yeah.
But
Ginger ale, chicken soup, and Price is Right.
Any kid that grew up in our era, when you didn't go to school, 11 o'clock
was all you had.
That's all you had. Hogan's Heroes, McHale's Navy, and Price is Right.
You're watching Jerry Springer in third grade.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jerry Springer didn't come around later for me. All right, so listen, guys, we're going to play the Philly feud. The top 10 answers are on the board. Tyler and Jamie are going to go back and forth on answers. The first contestant who gets 3 incorrect answers, or strikes as we call them on the Philly feud, original idea, by the way, calling them strikes, is the loser. All right, so they'll go back and forth. In the event that all answers are given, the player with the most correct answers will win it. Now, if that's a tie, I have a tie-breaking question already right here, okay? Now, we asked ChatGPT, name the top 10 Phillies of all time.
Oh, boy.
So this is courtesy of ChatGPT. Name the top 10 Phillies of all time. We had a coin flip before the show. Jamie Lynch won the coin flip. Jamie, would you like to pass or play?
I will play, John.
All right.
And my familiarity with ChatGPT, I used it for the first time yesterday. So to say I'm a novice at their way of thinking is accurate.
I wouldn't say it's scientific or it makes any sense at all in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So anything could be an answer.
All right. So I will play.
Yes, name it.
I mean, I got to take Michael Jack Schmidt off the board.
Michael Jack Schmidt, of course, is the number one answer. Okay. Michael Jack Schmidt. By the way, let me read the criteria here. It says, this list reflects a blend of longevity, individual achievements, and contributions to the team's success over the years. The rankings can vary based on personal preference and criteria, but these 10 players are definitely among the most impactful in team history.
All right.
All right, so Mike Schmidt, Tyler Zulli, we're going to go to you. Mike Schmidt, the number one answer on the board.
Yeah, I think we'll go to, you just gave the best position player. I think I'll go to the best pitcher in Phillies history. I'm going to go with Steve Carlton.
Lefty Steve Carlton. Survey says the number 3 answer on the board.
That means that number 2, I think.
Okay, so hold on. I'll give it away. We'll go back to Jamie Lynch. Jamie?
I'm going to go with that Robin Roberts.
Robin Roberts, who I used to love going down and watching play as a kid. Number 8 on the list. Survey says.
Ooh, all right.
Number 8 on the list.
So you said contributions and longevity are important to this, right? So I'm going to go with the all-time hits leader for this team. I'm going to go Jimmy Rollins.
But the longevity, is ChatGPT get weird here? Come on, ChatGPT.
Survey says Jimmy Rollins, number 2 on the list. You sniffed that one out, Tyler.
Yeah, it felt right. Based on all those outliers you gave, Rollins felt right.
J-roll Jimmy Rollins. All right, so you guys are perfect so far. All right, there's still a lot of good answers out there. Jamie, it goes to you. We asked ChatGPT for the top 10 Phillies of all time.
There's a guy who recently passed. The longevity aspect, does ChatGPT dock him for not being here very long? Or does the hits king, Tyler took the franchise leader.
3 seconds.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose Incorrect. Pete Rose does not make the list.
I thought ChatGPT might dox me there.
So that's the first strike. Again, first to reach 3 strikes
saved that
loses.
in the back pocket.
Am I allowed to ask one question? Does ChatGPT no?
No.
All right. So let's go old school. Let's go real old school. We're gonna go
Pork chops O'Hallahan.
Yeah,
in 1889.
the 1890 Phillies. We're gonna go with Grover Cleveland Alexander.
Ooh.
Grover Cleveland Alexander. Survey says no, did not make the list.
All right.
All right, so let me say this. I'll give you a couple of hints here because it is going to.
I got one lined
Okay.
up.
I got
I got to go with Whitey. Richie Ashburn.
Richie Ashburn. Survey says, of course, number 5 on the list.
Right,
yes.
there we go.
Your whiteness. Richie Ashburn, number 5 on the list. Tyler, it
right,
pivots to you,
so
both with 1 strike.
We're missing number 4, correct?
We are missing number 4.
Okay. Oh man, this is challenging because you got to get inside the head of an AI bot.
You're the bot, coach.
Yeah, you're the
That
baseball
doesn't
bot.
mean anything.
You know, I have a parody song for him. I have a hunch you'll love the baseball bot. Instead of the baseball bot. He didn't know the song.
Oh man.
3 seconds.
All right, I am gonna go with. I don't love this answer, but I think they're gonna have him. I'm gonna go with Chase Utley.
Chase Utley. Survey says, of course, Chase Utley's number 6 on the list.
You know what? It's funny. I
Tyler
said I don't
Zilli.
love this answer, and I literally changed my answer because I was gonna go with somebody else.
Okay.
And I'm like, wait, just go Chase Utley. What are we
All
doing?
right. So you both have 1 strike.
Yeah.
All right. And there is the number 4.
What was Utley?
He was number 6 on the list. There's the number 4, the number 7, the number 9, and the number 10. And I can just tell you, the number 10 is absurd. And if you guess this, then you're good for you.
Okay. I'm going to save my absurd guess for later. Give me a shot with Cole Hamels.
That was the one I was gonna go with originally.
Cole Hamels.
Because of the ring, I think ChatGPT slurps that up.
World Series MVP.
Yeah.
Impact on the franchise.
Yeah.
Survey says no. Did not make the list. 2 strikes, Jamie. You're 1 strike away from being eliminated. Tyler, you have 1 strike.
Because Jamie's got another strike than me, I think I can take a chance on maybe another old school player. Let's go with, how about Ed Delahanty?
Oh, you son of a.
Ed Delahanty. Survey says.
Was that who you were going to go with too?
No, I have somebody else lined up.
All right, so I'll give you another, like, you guys are going like way
Too far back?
Yeah.
All
All right. So I'm going to go with Mr. Kurt Schilling.
Kurt Schilling. Very interesting answer.
I'm
the
nervous.
game is on the line here.
Yeah.
Kurt Schilling or Tyler wins.
I always like risking it all on Kurt Schilling.
Like who wouldn't want him in your corner?
Like the state of Rhode Island, I'm going down with the ship.
For the game, Kurt Schilling.
Oh, no.
Survey says number 7 on the list.
Yeah, Kurt.
Jamie stays alive.
Wow.
Now the pressure's on Tyler.
It is.
Tyler, we have the number 4 player on the list. We have the number 9 and the number 10 player on the list.
All
we
right.
asked ChatGPT for the top 10 Phillies of all time. You both have 2 strikes. If you get this wrong, Jamie wins.
All right. A couple different guys I can go with, but I think Jamie brought up the championships matter, the awards matter. Smaller sample size than I'd like to go with, but let's try 2006 MVP Ryan Howard.
Good guess. Good guess.
Ryan Howard. What does our survey say? Number 4 on the list. Tyler is alive.
My heart's pounding a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little flustered.
Number 1, Mike Schmidt. Number 2, Jimmy Rollins. Number 3, lefty Steve Carlton.
I mean, I would bump Carlton ahead of Rollins.
absolutely.
But I don't disagree with the rankings too much.
I think they're giving a lot of all-time hits leader, champion, MVP.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of play there.
Ryan Howard 4, Richie Ashburn 5, Chase Utley 6, Kurt Schilling 7, Robin Roberts 8th. It has come down to the 9th and the 10th. And
right.
Jamie, this is not a great position for you to be in.
No. This is 1 foot in the pressure cooker here.
Kind of hate
Because these are not great answers, and they're not easy answers.
All right, I'm going to take a shot here because of his MLB greatness. The longevity wasn't here. But give me that Doc Halladay.
Roy Halladay.
Somebody
I certainly would have considered.
I'll go down with him.
I certainly would have considered. Roy Halladay for the game. Survey says no, and Tyler wins it.
No.
Tyler wins the Philly Feud.
So this is where starting first actually hurt me.
Yeah.
You should have to get one.
All
Race
right,
this.
I'll take a shot. Because if I get
you win.
If I get an X, we both have 3, right?
No, you win.
Oh,
Yeah,
I just
you
win.
won, but
It
I
was,
want
it
to
was,
see you
it
get
was the
one.
first to 3 strikes.
Let me see if I can get one of these two
Yeah,
guys.
what do you got?
I'm gonna go with how about Del Ennis?
You're definitely the best. Like, we are kindred spirits when it comes to Phillies. The survey says.
All right, I'm curious who the last two guys
so
are.
I'm going to give you hints. Power outfielder.
Greg Luzinski.
Okay.
Number 9.
Okay.
You wouldn't think it,
Yeah.
but it's an easy answer with
Somebody
the guess.
from that championship team.
And he was a really good player. He was an
Yeah.
all-star level player.
I think he was an all-star twice.
All right. This is the absurd one, number 10. Draft pick, first-round draft pick.
No way, it's Pat Burrell.
Pat Burrell, well, does he deserve it over this guy? It's not Pat Burrell.
Okay.
First-round draft pick. High first-round draft pick.
High first round pick.
Not Don Brown.
Played his entire no. He wasn't a high first-round draft pick, Don Brown. He was a mid pick because they thought he signed to go to Miami to play
Right.
wide receiver.
Yeah, he was a football player too.
Yep.
Played his career here. A lot of his career here.
I believe he played his entire career as a Philadelphia Philly. Not one of my no, he didn't. That is not true. He did not play his entire career. He played 1 year elsewhere. Not my favorite player.
Is it? I don't know if he was a first round pick. Is it Mike Lieberthal?
Is it Mike Lieberthal? Survey says it's Mike Lieberthal.
No way. No, it's not.
It's ChatGPT, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
had him in my brain as a consideration if I got real
As
desperate.
the 10th best Philly
Well, the
of all time?
longevity.
Sure.
It's ChatGPT. You
Just
know,
making
like,
stuff up.
Third
man.
overall in the 1990 draft.
They're not
Mike
breaking
Lieberthal.
down
Was he
war.
really?
Yep. He wasn't like he was a good player,
Sure.
but
He was fine.
they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
The year he became the starter, they didn't make the playoffs, and his last year playing, they didn't make the playoffs, and they made the playoffs the year before and the year after he stopped playing.
Yeah, it was an era of losing.
Yeah,
I
so
don't,
it
I don't
was.
think that's his fault.
I think I was like I said, I was not a Mike Lieberthal.
He was
fan.
fine.
Yeah, he was a good player. Don't
Yeah,
get me
he
wrong.
was-
It's kind of like
yeah.
Aaron Nola. You know, Aaron Nola's a good player.
You had
man.
an,
I like
you had an
Aaron Nola.
everyday catcher for a decade out of a
All-star
first round
twice.
pick. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of like first round picks are such crapshoots sometimes, or picks in general in Major League Baseball are such crapshoots. Like, you get an everyday player, then that's a win for me.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't a bust, but no, not one of my favorite players. All right, Tyler, congratulations. You're now 1-0 lifetime in the Philly Feud. Jamie, good luck next time. Good luck next time.
Yeah, I gotta. Maybe I'll pass next time.
We have some lovely parting gifts for you.
Rice-A-Roni.
Yeah, look under your chair.
Yep.
Lifetime supply of
You have
mac
under your
and
chair
cheese.
probably a empty Wawa coffee.
Some Bill Matt's old gum.
Yes, exactly. All right, well, everybody, thank you for watching. Tyler Zuli, congratulations.
I got to come back and defend my title. Is that something I have to do?
Yes.
All right.
Could you be Ken Jennings of?
No,
PHLY.
because you're gonna eventually get to one where it's like, top flyers of all time, and I'll get Charlie will cook me.
Yeah, I wouldn't put you in a position to fail, but like that's where you don't have to do every single episode, right? Like you could
Sure.
if we wanted to do a flyer one, that's a great idea to put Matts and Charlie against each other.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, it's endless. But yeah, that was fun. Jay, and you guys both did great. It came down to where you needed to pull. What was the name you pulled out to stay alive, and then Jamie went Kurt Schilling.
Yeah, I used I used Ryan Howard,
Right.
and then he used Kurt Schilling.
He went Kurt Schilling. Yep.
Yeah, I am surprised. Like and this is kind of why ChatGPT is tough to guess to, because there was clearly a recency bias to it.
Yeah.
Because I think there are some old school Phillies who are Hall of Famers, right? That didn't
Right.
make the list.
Yeah, if you're a Hall of Famer and Mike Lieberthal makes it,
Yeah, you know what I mean.
it's-
Like
come on.
it's an interesting list for sure.
Right. All right. Coming up, our BetParx Parlay of the day and Eagles draft stuff. That's ahead. Philly, John Marks. Back in 2-2. Back in 2 and 2 with you. Talk about Rothman Orthopedics for a second. And I wonder if there's people out there that, like, now it's Monday, you had the weekend, you had Easter, but weather finally broke. So this week, the weather's supposed to be really good. I think we finally made it over the hump where the weather's going to be warm, which means if you're a golfer, you're going to be golfing a lot. If you're active, you're going to be out a lot. And if you're running into some pain, knee, hip, shoulder, ankle, foot, hand, whatever it is, you're probably going to be less likely to want to go out, or you're less likely to even do it, right? Like, who wants to live on taking ibuprofen after you play golf every time, right? Or maybe you just don't want to be in pain. You're like, you know what? No, I'm going to take care of this now. Rothman Orthopedics. If you're having joint pain, hand cramping, if your back's out of whack, Rothman's got you. Practicing specialized care. It's been their passion for over 50 years. Rothman Orthopedics, they specialize in you, and they have a specialty for everything. Each body part. You got a doc for that. They have a team for that, right? Hip, knee, spine, shoulder, elbow, foot and ankle, hand and wrist, sports medicine, physical medicine, rehab, orthopedic oncology, trauma and fracture care. They do it all. They do. So if you're in pain, Rothman proudly serves dozens of communities across Pennsylvania and New Jersey, 30-plus convenient offices, urgent cares, and walk-in centers. I went to the Limerick location. I've been to the urgent care up in Limerick. God, it's so convenient. Rather than having to go to the regular urgent care, orthopedic urgent care, Rothman. Boom, you go up there, you get what you need, you get diagnosed. You don't have to wait, right? Rothman Orthopedics, specializing in orthopedics, and you visit RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY to learn more and to make an appointment today. Hooah! All right. GLAT Hair Restoration by Morgenstern Medical. That's right, under the direction of renowned plastic surgeon Dr. Ken Morgenstern and their hair team. Most experience when it comes to hair. That's all they do in Philadelphia. Over 30 years of experience. I was texting and emailing with my friends over there on the hair team, Lisa and Cheryl. And Lisa told me, like, yeah, we just got a, one of your listeners came in, boom, getting a hair restoration procedure. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome to hear. So that means that the message is being received. If you are losing your hair, and this isn't just about restoration, it's about innovation, all stages of hair loss. So maybe you're just starting to recede. GLAT Hair Restoration. Maybe you've already lost enough hair and you say, you know what, I'm ready to get all my hair back. They got something for you. It's 2025. Science has evolved. It's amazing to where you can keep your hair, you can get your hair back, and there is nowhere else you should go than GLAT Hair Restoration for that. My before and after pictures are on the website, GLATHairMM.com, GLAT HairMM.com. Don't believe the commercials you see on Facebook, the social media ads you see on Instagram. Don't believe them. Don't believe this guy with a huge, great head of hair. Like, oh, yeah, look at me use the shampoo. Look at my hair. Where's the before picture, pal? Yeah, that's what I thought. You can also text them or call them. GLAT Hair Restoration. 610-980-4000. 610-980-4000. Or GLATHairMM.com. Wow, we're back. All right, there you go. By the way, if you were watching the Philly Feud, it's a great way to comment. We're getting a lot of people in the chat that are commenting on the Philly Feud. Very angry at ChatGPT. So if we could get ChatGPT on the show to discuss their answers.
I mean, I think they have a right to gripe. Mike Lieberthal is not a top 10 player in franchise history. He's a fine player, but what are we doing?
Right, well, that's why you almost have to do that. You do ChatGPT because you can't argue with me about it. It's ChatGPT. But comment in the comment section if you're watching this. And let us know what you think about the debut of Philly Feud and the list. We'll have another one coming up there soon. By the way, also at allphly.com, you can subscribe to Rich Hoffman's newsletter, which is amazing, PHLY Daily. Thinking of it like if you were a daily news reader back in the day, that back cover you would get, it's like, oh man, I want to dig into this. Man, I can't wait to. That's PHLY Daily. Every morning, Rich compiles essentially a sports page to you, and it gets sent to your email. It's free. It gives you everything you need to know, and then some in the world of sports. Allphly.com to get that. And while you're there, how about this? Become a diehard. our best deal of the year. It's $3 a month, $36 for the first year. That gets you everything you need. It gets you all of our diehard coverage. It gets you a t-shirt. It gets you exclusive deals, 20% off merchandise. There's so many different reasons to become a diehard here at All PHLY. So do it. allphly.com to get it. This deal's not going to last forever. You got to get it right now. And I'm not going to ship you the second one for the same price. You know how they do that with the infomercials? And if you call within the next 10 minutes, you'll get a second Flowbee for no charge. You just have to pay separate shipping and handling for that. Well, there you go. All right, it's we'll finish with some draft stuff here, but it's time for our BetParx Parlay of the day. All right, so Friday's parlay actually was Friday and Saturdays because I had the Clippers plus 2.5 against the Nuggets. The Nuggets actually came back in the fourth quarter. They won the game, but they won it by 2 in overtime. So my leg of the parlay, I won by the hook. Tyler Zulli, on the other hand, not as fortunate.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, it was a low-scoring game. It ended up being 3-1, but I took no run first inning in the Blue Jays Mariners game, and Kevin Gausman did his job, but Brian Wu gave up a first inning run.
Right, and it goes with my theory that ultimately your bet was correct, that it was a low-scoring game. So really, like what you were saying is that I expect a low-scoring game, so I'm going to go with
I take the loss. It was a loss.
Well, I mean, listen, we take the loss. We're going to take the loss. All right, today I'm going back to the Nuggets and the Clippers. Why are the Nuggets 1.5 underdogs at home? They just won game one. The Clippers 1.5 point favorites on the road. Game 2 of their series tonight. You know what that tells me? Clippers are winning this game. I'm not going to mess with the point spread. It's not worth it. So I'm going to take the Clippers on the money line. That's minus 120. Clippers to win the game tonight, game 2 at the Nuggets. I'll take the Clippers. Tyler, what's yours?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the White Sox and the Red Sox game. They are playing at 11:10 today, as they do each and every year on Patriots Day. They've done that every year since 1968. They play at 11:10 in the morning. And I'm going to go to a player prop that I like today. Alex Bregman's had a really good start to the year offensively for the Red Sox. Now, he's also just won for his last 11. He went 5 for 5 against Tampa on Tuesday night and had only one hit in his 11 at-bats. Between the 18th and the 20th. They're playing the White Sox in kind of a weird wraparound series. I kind of like Bregman to get back into have a little bit of success today. I'm going to take the over 1.5 total bases for Alex Bregman today at minus 125.
Nice.
So he needs 2 hits, a double, any extra base hit wins it. 2 base hits wins it. Remember, the only thing you can't win on is walks.
Right.
Which is annoying, but that's the way it goes. That's the rule.
Yeah, Bregman's been good. Marathon day, 11:10 first pitch. So we will know what your leg of the parlay looks like by after lunch. All right, there you go. That's our BetParx Parlay day. And by the way, that pays out. We're going to put up 50. So we're plus, Tyler. We're still very much on the plus side here with our win streak.
We're still doing well.
We're plus. Hold on, I got to pull my sheet back up here. We're plus 120, 127. So we're going to bet 50 to win 116. 50 to win 116. So let me put that in there. 116. All right, there you go. Some reaction from the Philly feud. A lot of people are saying Bobby Abreu, like Joe Tiz, and I think it's a good point. Bobby Abreu gets no respect. Yeah, I mean, I think that the fact that, and I don't know what the hell criteria ChatGPT is using not to put Bobby Abreu on the list. Anytime Mike Lieberthal's number 10, it's like, all right, well, like Bobby Abreu, like how you have him over Bobby Abreu? But Bobby Abreu was a very, very good player. Unfortunately, they never won with Bobby Abreu, and the minute they traded him was when they kind of started making their push in 2006. When Pat Gillick traded Bobby Abreu, he traded it for salary relief. They didn't really get much in return for him. And then they made a push that year in 2006. Ultimately didn't make the playoffs, but then 2007 playoffs, and we know what happened after that. But I think getting rid of Abreu, kind of the biggest success that it had was that it opened up the locker room to now be taken over by the younger players. And Abreu was their highest paid player. He was an all-star. He was an excellent player. But he also was the guy that, and Larry Boa told me this, he didn't necessarily show up late, but he also wasn't the first guy that was in the clubhouse. And what the Phillies wanted, they wanted guys that were leading by example. And it wasn't just about getting there if you're supposed to be there by 4 o'clock. It was about really showing this younger clubhouse and these younger guys, like, this is how you do it. This is how you win. Bobby Abreu ended up having a really good career with the Yankees as well, but he just fit into that clubhouse. To be the guy on this Phillies team wasn't working. But I was always a Bobby Abreu fan. I always enjoyed watching him play. He was an excellent hitter. Tyler, if we went worst Phillies of all time, as some people are asking.
Oh, goodness.
Worst Phillies.
I mean, you have an expansive almost 140-year track record of the worst franchise ever.
All right, so here's what I typed in, because we're not going to do of all time. We're going to do since 1980.
Okay.
And it'd be almost impossible to do it, I think, in a Philly Feud format, just because who the hell knows
I think
what
that
Too many players.
the problem with that is you could say, like, oh, this guy was trash and he played 40 games, right? So like there has to be a sample size of like this person played a lot and stunk.
All right, so here's the criteria. There's a few ways to define worst: underperformance, bad contracts, poor fit, or just outright disaster.
Well, if that's the case, then like you talk bad contracts. Like, to me, the one that jumps out in my mind is Adam Eaton.
Number 1 on the list.
It has to be, right? Like, Adam Eaton's contract was dreadful to the point where they ended up releasing him and ate contract.
They ate the money. And then he came back
and he
to
got
get
a
his
World
ring.
Series ring. Yeah.
He came back to his ring and knew he was going to get booed and loved it. Number 2, third baseman. The last guy to hit for a cycle for your fighting Phils.
David Bell?
2.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see that.
Actually, I think because JT hit it for a cycle, didn't he?
Yeah, it was before JT.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what you heard for years. I'm like, please get that guy.
It was the fact that you heard, and I think actually too, because Weston Wilson did it too. I think last year.
Yeah, I mean, David Bell, I don't think he was an outright disaster.
David Bell was fine.
Well, I don't think he was fine, but they signed him after he was the team MVP of the Giants in those good Giants games.
Sure.
And I'm not telling you who was on PEDs, but he was playing during the Balco era with guys that were on PEDs. Anyway, David Bell, number 2. Number 3, pitcher. Came to the Phillies in a trade. Gave up a pitcher that actually had a good career, and then a guy who was a former number 1 pick.
Freddie Garcia?
Correct. Started 11 games. ERA was over 6. Don Brown, 4. All right. Tyler Green, who was before your time, but he had a career similar to Don Brown. He was a first-round draft pick. He was a Wichita State. I remember watching him in the College World Series. He was a hitter and a pitcher. He was a pitcher in the majors. He had a knuckle curve. And he was unbelievable I think it was his rookie year. He made an all-star team.
Threw a no-hitter, didn't he?
Done. Tyler Green. 1 all-star year.
Okay.
Overall, but he was injured and stuff. Reliever that, and by the way, shout out to everybody watching on TV. Get on over to allphly.com to watch the rest of the program because it's time for overtime. Ooh-ah. They acquired him. I think he was a Philly before this too. They acquired him at the trade deadline because they needed a closer from Pittsburgh. So he was an all-star with Pittsburgh. Right-handed reliever, Mike Gonzalez. I don't know if he needs to be number 6. Jeff Francoeur, number 7 on the list.
Jeff Francoeur got signed when he was like 36 years old.
Not worthy of being number 7. Pete LaForest. This is why you can't do this list because no one ever gets that. It's a backup catcher.
Yeah, what?
It's here for a year, Pete LaForest. Sean O'Sullivan in 2015.
Like, what? Yeah, he was terrible. There's no doubt. He was awful that year, but like...
I don't remember him at all. Actually, maybe I do. And 10, and this guy deserves to be the closer to number 1 on the list. Danny Tarnable.
Yeah.
He played 3 games. He fouled a ball off his foot, broke it. Then he never played again. Danny Tarnable, who was also on an episode of Seinfeld at one point, his claim to fame. And then it suggests doing a worst Phillies lineup. You can build out a full starting 9 in rotation of the most painful players to watch. That would be fun.
Jeez.
Don Brown belong on this list? Being that he was such a number 1 overall prospect in baseball,
high-rated prospect, and then he had that surge in the one season where he became an all-star. I mean, I think to me, Don Brown is more of a what if they would have traded him type of thing, as opposed to what if he would have succeeded. You know what I mean? Like because the Phillies moved all of their good prospects for a 5-year
Except him.
stretch, except him.
Well, and by the way, all the prospects in the Holiday trade, I mean,
Drabek was the headliner, and he was not very good.
no, he wasn't.
They moved Darno, but Darno didn't have a ton of success
Not
with
Toronto.
Toronto. He was much better later. Like, he made himself into a much better MLB player than we thought, but
that was
it took time.
It did. And he did. He turned himself into a good player. Yeah, they pretty much traded. They didn't trade much at all for Howdy. Yeah, like the one prospect they decided to hang on to was Don Brown, and we know what happened with that. I mean, geez, he's still pitching. He's pitching for the
Carlos Carrasco.
Yeah, Carlos Carrasco was the best player that they traded. That was Cliff Lee. Best player they traded during that entire.
But
Nick Punto might have been too.
They got Cliff Lee out of it, right?
Yeah,
so
no, it was worth it.
You're not even thinking about it.
It was worth it. They traded John Singleton for
Hunter Pence, right?
For Hunter Pence. Who'd they trade for Oswalt? Not much.
It wasn't a lot.
For Brad Lidge, not much. Ruben Amaro made some really good trades. I know Lidge was Pat Gillick, but Ruben Amaro made some really good trades and didn't give up. That's why the prospects. Everybody.
Yeah. So the Phillies, the headliner they gave up because he was already a major league player was Jay Happ.
Yeah.
But they gave up Happ for Oswalt, and then it was Anthony Gose and Jonathan VR.
Dude, VR was pretty good.
VR ended up having a fairly
Arizona?
good career. He played for a lot of teams. He played for Houston, Milwaukee, the Orioles, the Mets. But he had like a 10-year career.
He had a good career, but you don't ever
career.
regret trading him.
No, you're acquiring a guy who's been a top of the line rotation guy. You're trying to win a World Series.
Oh, the possibilities are endless with this list, man. The worst trades.
Oh, you could do a ton.
Doesn't mean that it's going to give you good answers, but it's fun. All right, shout out to everybody out there watching live. 8 a.m. every Monday through Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We are live, Philly with John Marks. Tune in on YouTube, audio-only podcast. If you're an Xfinity customer or you have Roku or Samsung Plus or any of the FAST channels, we're available to watch live and then whenever it pops up again, because it's on a rotation. But again, and of course, you can always watch later on YouTube, which we love if you do. Just like and subscribe. Come on down, get on in. And we love if you watch live. So make it a part of your routine. Watch live every morning at 8 o'clock. And your audio-only podcasters, you watch the show on YouTube, but you're in the car, you didn't get a chance to watch the show, subscribe to the podcast. Listen to the audio-only podcast. And we try to make it audio-friendly for everybody as well. Everybody, have a great one. Click on over Jamie Lynch, the bro, who's coming off a loss in the Philly feud. Can he rebound? He's in for Anthony today. So switch on over. Those guys are live right now. We'll talk to you later. See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.